Good morning, YouTube. This is man Lloyd George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bottom Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, we have one of the biggest shows that is going on this weekend, and that is the Chicago Pro. It's a Tim Gardner production. Tim Gardner is one of the few promoters that still give opportunities for female bodybuilding. Big shout out to Tim. I know he's a businessman and understands aspects of money and also like that, but he still give women's bodybuilding a stage. We did lose Puerto Rico this year, and I'm kind of disappointed. I mean, it was a great show, great opportunity to earn qualification for the Olympia. But maybe next year, whatever situation the problem is, we might have it back. We just cross our fingers and hope. So anyway, this show, I was, really thinking, hoping that this was going to be a big show out. And I saw the list, and I'm telling you, folks, what's going on? What's going on? But we'll talk about that later. So anyway, we have here the list. We have here 6 lovely ladies competing in the show. 6. And compared to the past, it's kind of really low. I think, like I said, there's some issues that's going on and also the stuff that's involved why we have such a low number. And it's just something I'm thinking I might speak on my live stream maybe later on next week or someone later on the road, but it's just, I thought it's going to be really a big show out. But, still, congratulations to these 6 ladies who are representing themselves. First off, we have here, we have 7 because it's master's class. There's three classes, and then we have over 40, over 50, and over 55. And technically, we have 7 ladies, but only one lady is just going to be competing. Is going to be competing exclusively in masters. The rest are doing open. So first off, we have here is Jessica E. Martin. Now, Jessica Martin, remember, she competed last time. She competed 2021. And that was at the Omaha Pro. She took second to Michaela that year. And then we thought we were going to see more of her that year. But then I follow her, and we used to talk a bit. She got sick, and it was the virus. She caught the virus, and it took her out. And, it took a little while to recover. But I follow her on Facebook and IG, and she looks amazing. I mean, she looks really good. There's a good chance that she might win this show. I mean, remember, she turned pro a while, about 4 or 5 years ago. And then I think in 2019, she switched from physique to women's bodybuilding. She won her first show at the Puerto Rico Pro. And then she competed at the Rise of Phoenix at least a couple of times during her career. I hope she does well. She looks amazing. She's put on some good size and condition looks, could be on point. Next up here is a big talkadoo, and that is one Miss Christina Nicole Mendoza. As you know, Christina, she's been kind of out of action for a bit. She competed, I think, in 2021, and she was in and out for a good bit. She competed at Chicago, the 2021, and she took, I believe she took third at that show because that was a show that Sheena Olick won her first Olympia qualification. And she looked amazing. That was a great show for her. She deserved it. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Sheena. I think she's a great competitor. Nicole, there's a lot of talk about her. I mean, I see some pictures she posted, some videos, and you also check my channel, I post some videos of her, and she looks like she's put on some good amount of size. There's some talk that one thing is her conditioning. If she goes in condition, there could be a chance she could win this show. It's like I said, it's a toss up how she's gonna do. Next is a lovely lady who I become very acquainted with. This is the lovely Mrs. Wendy Sanchez. Now, Wendy, she competed at the Atlanta show last weekend, and she's also doing women's Masters 40 over. And good. I'm a big fan of Wendy. I think she did pretty good at Masters, took in second, and she was number 6 at the Open at the Atlanta. If she can bring her conditioning, she can probably do good at this show. She can probably win Masters and maybe even take top 3 at the Open. It's all dependent. Here, next up, we have a lady here, one Miss Kina Squarely, and she is from Canada. Not much of about her. She was a physique competitor, but she decided to switch over to women's bodybuilding. You can see this a lot now. You can see a lot of these ladies who are jumping over from physique to women's bodybuilding because the fact is, some of them, especially if you're much older and you don't have that good tapered in waist that they look in physique and the good conditioning. I think bodybuilding sometimes is a better division for them. But let's wish the best of luck. Now, this is a big talk right here. This is what I've been talking about. Melissa Tyke, who has finally made the switch from physique to women's bodybuilding. And I've said this ever since last year. She should have. I mean, she has done well. She won a couple of shows as Olympian. I think she has more aesthetics. She's a lot thicker, more developed. She's really evolving. And when I follow on social media, she does a lot of heavy lifting. And she puts a good amount of size. If she can bring in a better presentation than she had in Olympia, she could possibly win this show. And that'd be her third Olympic qualification, this time in another division. She has a future in this division. I think it works better with her growth and her aesthetics as a bodybuilder than in physique. But let's wish the best for her. Next up, we have one here, Miss Maria Vega. Now, I saw her compete last year at the Savannah Pro. She competed in both in women's open, and also she did masters. She's also doing masters this show. I believe she's doing, I think it's over 50, and I think it's also 50. If over 50 and 55, so that means, wow, you can't believe this woman she's over 55. Wow, I wouldn't think it. She looks amazing. But she's doing all three classes. So that's 40, over 50, and over 55. So she got to be at least 57 or close to 60. Wow, I wouldn't think it. That's the thing about the bodybuilding lifestyle. You just don't really tell about some of these ladies. And next up, we have here one Miss Nadia Ocampas, and she's from Paraguay. I believe she competed last year in women's bodybuilding at the Marina Muscle Fest, and now she was physique for a while, but she made the switch. Now she's just doing over 50 in women's bodybuilding. I think she should do the open too. I mean, we can use more bodies. 7 women's, 7 is a lucky number, and she probably could do well. It's all depending on how all the other competitors come in and conditioning. But I feel like the top 3 competitors in my mindset is going to be Melissa, Christina, and Jessica. It's all depending on how they're going to come in conditioning. I feel like the battle might be between, by looks at this from Twitch I've seen, it might be actually between Melissa and Jessica. Now, people say Christina, but, that's the thing. We hype somebody up. It's all depending on how the judge is going to say. But Christina could probably win it. She didn't do too well 2 years ago when she competed at Chicago. Because, remember, Sheena won that. And the name we now speak on my channel took second. But, I think one thing I'd like to talk about is that there's also the Miss International show, which is a pro qualifier. And every year you used to do this. Some of the ladies who win their pro cards at that show, they jump over and they jump on this show too. I know the lady who won last year for the overall, and she jumped on it. And I remember, I know Gina Carvalho when she got her pro card, she jumped out. A couple of ladies, so as long as at least 3 classes, meaning middleweight, heavyweight, and lightweight, and those 3 women win their class, and the overall is just the overall for the chances to compete at the Rising Phoenix. They can jump on here, and you would have maybe 9 women competing in women's bodybuilding, but still kind of a low number compared to in the past. But I think one thing, a lot of ladies are not ready yet. Some women, also, as the ambassador program, a lot of ladies were paid to compete. So without that, there's not a lot of, it's expensive. But maybe we get some more shows. We know we got Tampa coming up and also the Europa show coming up. So maybe we might get some more bodies by then. So we have here the list for women's physique, and this is even kind of dropped off a little bit. And truthfully, women's physique don't have ambassador program. They don't. I think the thing is, the cost of these shows and traveling is really affecting a lot of these competitors, and that's why you're seeing such low numbers for certain divisions. Unlike divisions which it doesn't cost so much to compete, like maybe bikini or I think wellness. These ladies in bodybuilding, I think it's a little more. But I'm just being biased because I'm a fan. So anyway, we have here at least about, I believe, 14, 15 competitors, and that's really usually we have 20. It's like I said, the numbers kind of dropping. I think a lot of competitors, like I said again, are not ready. Some are dropping off, switching to other divisions. It's just all depending. So next up here, we also have the Masters class, because today is Masters. So I was, so I know Winnie's competing today because I talked to her on IG a while ago. Wish her best of luck. Many other ladies are competing Masters. It's Masters today because I remember talking to Renee. She didn't realize that the main show for her class was on actually on Friday, not Saturday. They think for the other division is going to be, I think women's division is going to be tomorrow, and the men's division is going to be Saturday. So and today is Masters class. So we have here physique over 40, physique over 50, and women's physique over 55. Not too many competitors, and one in the first two and two in the last one. So, I think some women still feel like they have a chance at opens, and that's why they're sticking with open, not try to do masters. If I was you, try to do a show where you more likely can get a check. So, next up we have here one lady I couldn't find much on. I mean, it's I don't know who she is. Her name is Maria, if I get it right, Marie Bonwuskiska. She's from Czech Republic. So we call her Marie. So Marie. So I don't know about her. So this might be her debut. Next up, we have one Miss Villy Eaton, and she's competed before. She's been around for a good bit. I think she competed some shows last year. I don't have a lot of information on her because, like I said, a lot of these ladies are still getting to know. But I might reach out for an interview. Right here we have one Marissa Jinjuke. I mean, I'm going to say Marissa. I don't want to mess up her name too bad. Now, I found a video of her. She turned pro in 2018, competed in 2019. Hadn't competed in a while, so this will be her return in almost, I think, 4 or 5 years since she last competed. So you'll see how she does. Next up, we have Marika Jones. Big fan of hers. Great physique. She lives right there in Illinois. Her and Eden are right there in Illinois, because Chicago, Chicago's in Illinois. So, Marika, she took second at the Atlanta show. I've seen some pictures. I think she could win this show. She looks impressive. I think not that many heavy hitters in this show. There's a good chance she might win this show. And she hasn't been pro but only a year. She just turned pro last year, and this is gonna be her 4th or 5th show since she turned pro. She looks like she might be just hitting her peak right now. Next up, we have here one Miss Natalie Jerome. I saw her compete at Champ Sanave. I remember the background from that. Not much to know about her. I think she has been only a pro for a couple of years or so, but she looks pretty impressive. Right here we have is Chum Kung. Now, she posted to compete at the Portugal Pro, earlier this month, but she wasn't on the list. So something must have happened. She either visa issued or something happened that she can compete the show. So this is going to be her first show here in the States. This might be her first show as a pro. Next up, we have Alyssa Codre. Lisa was women's physique, but she was women's bodybuilding last year. She made the Olympia by winning at the Toronto Pro. She switched back to physique. She competed at the Vancouver Island show. I'm surprised she didn't do the Toronto show, but she decided to do the show in Chicago. So she feel like she might have a chance. She's come pretty impressive. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking she might need to go back to women's bodybuilding. I'm not sure. I feel like she still needs work there if she want to ever come to women's bodybuilding. But, physique is like where the guidelines look and the criteria look at some of these women's physique, I just don't know. But she could be possibly a contender. Next up, we have here one Miss Danielle Lamartin. And Miss Lamartin, she's from Texas. This might be her pro debut. I believe she turned pro a while ago. Or I think it was at the MPC Universe. Not a lot of information I can get on her for all the things I can find. We have here Kristen Lay. Kristen, interviewed her a while back. I was hoping to interview her some down the road. She just moved here to the States. She competed at Atlanta, and she was in the top 3 at that show. Looked impressive. Possibly she might. I think there's a good chance she might, if she don't win the show or make top 3. There's a good chance she might win or make top 3. It's all depending on how all the other competitors look. Well, some ladies are very impressive, but I think Kristen probably can win the show. I saw a picture, posted a picture of her, just on IG, and she looked peeled, as they say in the bodybuilding world. She looked peeled. Next up, we have is a young lady by the name of Alexis M. Lowry. Alexis looks young. I mean, that's the thing is, I think the judges probably will go more with someone who's young who has great potential. I mean, she's one of those I would say has promising potential. One thing is the tattoos, especially the one right there, a little bit above the abdominals and right between the chest. Sometimes the tats can really take away how you look. Judges can be a bit prejudiced about tattoos, the way you're placing. But like I said, she has a perfect physique. She did New York just about a couple of months ago, I didn't see how she placed. It's all depending on how she's going to come in this show. Now we have here the lovely Miss Renee Reef. Renee, she just interviewed me on Monday. Great lady. She's very determined. She says she's not ready to do masters. I respect that. But like I said, she took 6 at Atlanta. And it's good to hear. I understand she wants to compete with the stepping, but it's also good to try to maybe have a little check just in case. If she can come into conditioning, like I said, she had to get ready because, like I said again, she didn't realize that the main show wasn't till Friday. And she thought it was late. If she thought it was Saturday, they'll give enough time to get ready. She told me she had to really start water loading right before the show. So wish her best of luck. She might even maybe make top 5 if she comes in good conditioning. Next up, we have here one Justina Radnika. I did a video about her just the other day. She's been competing for about a couple of years as a pro now. I think it's her second year. She did the Portugal Pro earlier this month. She looks impressive. She's possibly one of these top 3, top 5 contenders. It's all about how her conditioning comes in. And next thing we have here is Diana Schnecht. She's originally from Germany, but she lives in the States. She competed at the Atlanta and also, not Atlanta, she competed at the Toronto and also New York Pro. She's done Chicago last year. She competed that show quite a few times. Great look, great presentation. It's all depending on how she's going to come in. And next up we have Nadie Vidal, and she's from Canada. And she has been competing for a good bit. Not that long. This is going to be, I think this might be her second show as a pro total. She only did the Toronto Pro, I believe, last year, and she's doing this show this year. Depending on how she looks, very impressive. I know a dear friend of mine, Tana Hootie knows her. I think she works and trains with her. But it's all depending on how she's coming in. And last we have here, who's competing. This lady is competing in Masters. She's one of, I think there's only like 4 ladies in the total in the Masters for women's physique, and she's competing in women's over 50, and that is Lynn Pitcher, and she's from Ohio. Not a lot of information about her. She's kind of new. She's doing the open show too, I believe, but I think she's focused on Masters. And last we have here one Miss Andrea Canas, and she's from Canada also, and she's doing women over 55. And like I said, not much I know about her. Her and Miss Eden are the only 2 women competing 55. I didn't think that this woman, Miss Eden, is 55. Over 55. Wow. All depending on the condition. It's going to be 2 ladies who are going to fight out for that title. I think there's a good chance that it's going to be up to air, depending on how the condition comes, like I said. But like I said, there's not that many women competing in the Physique Masters. I thought it'd be a lot more. With women's bodybuilding, there's only 3 competitors, so like half the competitors are competing in women's bodybuilding Masters. So, it's all depending on these ladies come in conditioning. So anyway, this show is going to be, today is actually the Masters shows, meaning all the Masters divisions for all the Masters classes for all the divisions, such as men's bodybuilding, women's open, men's open, all of them are having the Masters today. I know Tamara competed last year at Masters. I think she won that show, but she's not competing. I was talking with her. She decided that she wanted to take a break and maybe focus on probably Tampa or some other shows coming up, But it's a good lineup. Like I said, I still feel disappointed that it's such a small lineup for women's bodybuilding. This is one of the biggest shows and one of the few shows that still has women's bodybuilding. I hope they have it next year. Or like I said, some competitors, I'm surprised like people like, there's a lot of controversy talking about Michaela Aycock should have won at Atlanta. I'm surprised Michaela not doing the show. But what I heard, she's going to do Tampa, which is probably best because that's in her own backyard. Someone else, I think of LaDonna Day. I thought she might try to do the show, maybe try to sneak in. Teresa Vasic, who she's still kind of missing in action. So a couple other competitors, like who do I think of? A couple of I think who just didn't. I think Renee, like no, Tawanda Smith who did New York, and also Keisha Oliver who did Vancouver, and also Shaquita, what's the face? I forgot her last name. Who also she did I think she did New York too. I felt certain that some of these ladies were probably trying to do this show, which probably could have given them to the Olympia. But like I said, it's the cost of traveling. For a long time, Wings of Strength used to promote and have the ambassador program. So a lot of these ladies don't get paid by the ambassador program to maybe do these shows. And then, we had some ladies retire this year, and it's just, it's just one of the things that happen. But it's like it's gonna be a decent show. Maybe one day I might, I don't know. It's the end of the month for me. I got to budget my money, but I'm planning on doing this. I'm planning on watching a show that's coming up next month, and it's gonna be right there in line in my budget early the first of the month, and I might check it out, and might even do a live stream on it. But anyway, this is a big show. The master shows today. The women's classes are tomorrow, and the rest of the show ends on Saturday. So if you want to check it out, I will leave the link in the description. Click it, watch them. This is the one thing what supports bodybuilding is us watching these live streams. I know it costs a good chunk of change sometimes, but if you have the money, you have the time, or if you can just go to the show, especially if you live in the Illinois area. I'm surprised. One person I'm surprised to do the show is Rashana Boswell. She lives right there in Illinois. She lives in Deer Park. I mean, I know she's doing the master show, but I would do the show just in case you don't get your Olympic qualification. Nothing's ever a sure shot. But anyway, much respect to all these ladies. Check out the show. Support women's bodybuilding. Support all the divisions that really represents women's. I would say female bodybuilding. Like physique. Women's bodybuilding, and even figure. Support those divisions. They need the opportunities and the chance to be seen and recognized. So anyway, this man all the way to the page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk. Don't subscribe. I'm out.